It's halftime, and it's time to rant. Packers, Vikings, hope you're enjoying that. Chris, if you don't like what I have to say, I ask that you leave your shirt on and not exit in the middle of the rant like Antonio Brown did earlier. No longer a Buccaneers wide receiver.
No longer a Buccaneer.
Weird, wild stuff in Week 16 of the NFL. Welcome,
the Jets
everybody.
almost beating Tom. By the way, the Jets
17.
almost beating Tom Brady is not the headline of that game anymore.
How about that?
Antonio Brown stealing headlines.
Jets almost beating Tom Brady. He goes
Brady.
93 yards again. All right. We have much to discuss. It is The Rant. Caden McFarland alongside Christy Maria, sponsored by the Tulsa Oilers. Chris, give me that Oilers update. Had a little win streak going. We're ready to start another, right?
Yeah, win streak going. 3-game win streak before the end of the year on New Year's Eve. Lost on the road in Kalamazoo. As of when we're talking right now, they're down 2-1 in the second period, so hopefully they can pull it back. But yeah, Tulsa Oilers, they are 10 points out of first place with 5 fewer games played. When you win a game, you get 2 points. So win all 5 of those games, you're in first place.
Yeah. 4 games above 500 coming into the day. Good hockey squad. Get on out there and watch them. Coming back to town very soon.
Yes, in about a week.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's dive in, man, because Oklahoma State just pulled off what Mike Gundy calls the biggest win in program history. How the heck about that? I mean, let's start right there, Chris. We know what happened here. They were down 28-7 to number 5 Notre Dame. The offense came alive. The defense returned to the form that we've seen all year long and just shut down that Irish offense in the second half. And OSU pulls off a monumental victory in the Fiesta Bowl.
I'm going to tease ahead to our coverage at 10 o'clock because Mike Gundy talks about, in our soundbite at 10, about the momentum that happened in that game. He said Tay Martin dropped those 2 passes,
right,
and then you got a punt. Then they come back, and they drive down the field in 4 or 5 plays to get a touchdown. He said that allowed them to go into the locker room and say, hey, if you want to come back and fight, we can do this. You just saw we can do this.
Yeah.
And if you want to come back out and fight, then come back out and fight. Otherwise, stay in the locker room. They came back out. Tay Martin got those 2 touchdown catches, 30-7 run to end the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let you talk about the defense. I'll let you talk about whatever you want. But I think that Mike Gundy at halftime spurred enough belief in that team.
That drive was huge.
That drive was so huge to
our guy
have a
Brennan
little
Presley with the big 40-yard catch
Yep.
roughly to get things started.
It was just fantastic.
Here's the thing, and like I'm a lifelong Notre Dame fan, so I see things from that point of view as well. I've watched every play of their season. I think that Notre Dame looked at the 13 games of Oklahoma State offense on tape this year and thought that they were playing a team, I don't know, let's say like Wisconsin, a defense-first team that's very conservative, wants to run the ball, and they prepared for that. What they didn't take into account, in my opinion, is that Mike Gundy has coming into this year, maybe let's say the last couple of years when the defense really started to come on under Jim Knowles, man, this was an air raid team. This was fun and guns. And so that is in their DNA. That's the kind of kid they've recruited for years and years. And when you let Spencer Sanders get into a rhythm, which he did yesterday, I remember last year against Texas, he threw for 400 yards.
Yep.
When he's allowed to open it up and go 4 wide, and when he finds a rhythm, he does things that you can't defend because of his ability to run when things break down, when you blitz. He had 125 yards rushing yesterday. So this was his finest moment, 371 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 125 rushing. The Irish didn't have an answer for that. And the worst thing that could have happened to Notre Dame in this game was to go up by 21, but with that much time left because Oklahoma State then had to go to 4 wide. The air raid spread it out. And the Irish, who were thin in the secondary, their NFL first-round pick Kyle Hamilton out, Cam Hart, their top cornerback, dinged up this week in practice. They weren't equipped to deal with Tay Martin and Brennan Presley and what Spencer Sanders had going when he was in a rhythm. And you say, they end the game on a 30-7 run. That doesn't even tell the whole story.
No,
Brennan Presley fumbled going into the end zone. Spencer Sanders fumbled at about the 12-yard line. They could have put 50 on Notre Dame, and that only Irish score came in the final seconds when it was mostly no longer in doubt. I mean, Oklahoma State dominated this game in the final 31 and a half minutes in a way that just blew my mind. I did not see the OSU offense unloading on Notre Dame's defense like that. I thought they would have some success because Jalen Warren breaks tackles and Spencer Sanders can kind of drive you crazy with his legs. But what they did to this Notre Dame defense that I've watched very closely all year long, it surprised me. And when you say, when Mike Gundy says biggest win in program history, I'm so intrigued by that I would love to know exactly why he thinks that. I think the comeback is part of that, the way they did it, but obviously it's
And
the
the
fact
spot
that it's
in which they
that's
did
right
it,
in
yeah.
the Fiesta Bowl against those gold helmets, ranked number 5 in the country. There isn't a win quite like that on his resume or the Oklahoma State football resume going back more than 100 years.
I also want to shout out an unsung hero of this game, and that's Jalen Warren, because the presence that he had
Absolutely.
that makes defenses respect the run
Nobody
and
wants
respect
to
the run up
tackle
the
him.
middle.
You're right.
Absolutely not. He was breaking tackles left and right. I actually, a couple days ago on my buddy's podcast, he was asking, well, what do you think? The line's like 2. It was like 2 at that point or something. I said, look, if Jalen Warren plays in this game, don't take the under, first of all. And second of all, pick OSU, because he is just enough of a difference that can keep defenses honest and allow them to make them kind of come up and defend you, that allows Spencer Sanders to get outside the tackles and run, and also allows him to have that air raid offense. I think Jalen Warren, even though he's not the top of the stat sheet in any category, I think he was enough of a difference maker that you see a result like this, you see what he would have done against Baylor. I think it only strengthens the argument that OSU would have beaten Baylor.
We see some of the celebration. I got to be honest, I was down there. They were happy, obviously, but it was somewhat subdued, and I think that goes to the DNA and personality of this team.
Yeah.
They're just a blue-collar bunch. And look, Notre Dame beats a lot of people with its toughness. They're bigger than most people, more physical. They out-tough most of their opponents, and they could not do it against this Oklahoma State squad yesterday, these 3-star kids. A lot of that
bigger. Like they outsized OSU like crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma State, some good old country boys from Wagner and Ulaga, right? I mean, Malcolm Rodriguez and Brock Martin both had huge games. Martin with a couple of huge sacks. One of them setting up Malcolm's biggest play, that interception. And Malcolm is the defensive MVP in his final game in an Oklahoma State uniform. Just a fairy tale career and a fairy tale ending for him. You love to see it.
Absolutely love
even
to
as
see
a
it.
lifelong Notre Dame fan, these storylines are just so great. And I'll go back to something I said yesterday. I don't want to beat this thing into the ground, but I really do think that the way to look at what caps off this season in just the perfect way for Oklahoma State people. How did it start?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It started with OU saying, you're not good enough to be tied to us any longer. We're going to the SEC, where the big boys play football. And the Big 12's future was very much in doubt. And we were all talking about, can Oklahoma State land in the Pac-12? Is there any takers? And when you're talking about TV revenue perhaps being cut in half, think about the jobs that would be lost in that program. How do you keep up, right, with those guys down south in the SEC or with the Big 10 if you go from what the Big 12 is making, which is already less than those guys, and you cut it in half? Their future as a big boy, big-time college football program, in my mind, was in question. That's how the season started.
Yep.
And you were also picked 4th in the Big 12. How does it end? You beat one of the bluest of the blue bloods in a great game, in a game where in the second half you absolutely dominated and showed yourself to be the better team. And you finished with 12 wins for only the second time in program history. I just don't know how that can be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
The way this season started, the way it ended, absolutely perfect for Oklahoma State. And I would say maybe it's good that they came up inches short of a Big 12 title because
That's an interesting
now
point.
you get Notre Dame as your opponent, which is more of a glamour opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get this opportunity in this stage, and I'm just not sure it would have been the same if they had won that game and made the playoff and got, their heads kicked in by one of those. Because, let's be honest,
That's what happened to
that's
Michigan
what would be
Cincy.
happening if you got to deal with Alabama or Georgia. Or you finish 5th and you're heartbroken by the fact that we didn't make the playoff. And, I think they would then end up in the sugar. And, they probably would have beaten that Ole Miss squad that we saw last night, just like Baylor did. But, man, what a huge, huge win. And, I'm just honored that in the 14 years I've been here now, I can say that I've been a part of, 2, and really had the Bedlam game in 2011, just some of the biggest wins in Oklahoma State football history. Of course, the first Fiesta Bowl win over Stanford, and then this one yesterday. Even though they beat my Irish.
I'm going to argue I've been a part of 2 of them as well, because that Bedlam one was pretty darn big this year.
Yeah, anytime they win Bedlam. And in fact, I talked to some fans there in Phoenix, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
From Mike Gundy's perspective, it's the biggest win in program history. Obviously, this is all subjective. I would say that to most Oklahoma State fans, beating OU.
Yes, the way that they did, too.
Beating OU's bigger, generally speaking. But, man, gosh, Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame,
So cool.
the way you did
So
it,
cool the way they
it's
did that.
huge, and they are set up for success going. I mean, Spencer Sanders is coming back. So many of these guys who have the extra year coming back. And so this really mature group that had so many 21 to 24-year-olds, grown men, you're going to have that dynamic in place. Even though not everybody's back next year, you'll have that dynamic in place again next year.
Special win for them, special win for OU as well.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one a whole lot more than I expected. You were down there in San Antonio as OU unloaded on Oregon. It was 30-3 at one point, 47-32 your final.
It was just fantastic. I tell you what, I tweeted, and I'm going to plug myself a little bit here. I tweeted a video of Bob Stoops walking onto the field.
Yeah.
And the maybe 1/3 of capacity at that point, because it was a couple hours, or it was an hour before the game, and the crowd erupted. It was actually deafening when Bob Stoops walked out on the field.
It was cool,
and
right?
I tweeted it. OU Twitter got to it, and it went crazy. But watching Bob Stoops on the sideline, the command that he has, but also the respect that he has for just being there for 1 month was obvious. And the way that he talked to his players, and the way that you could tell his players were telling him what they wanted to do, and he would kneel to them at sometimes. He'd be like, okay, yeah, let's do whatever you want to do. It was amazing to get to watch, because I never got to watch him coach. It was an incredible experience getting to watch Bob Stoops coach. And you top it off with this. Drake Stoops catching a touchdown on his only reception of the game, going over, hugging Dad, and Bob Stoops, you're going to see Bob smiling right after this. Look at him just smirking to himself. He was so proud of his boy, and them sitting next to each other in the post-game interview was awesome. There was just so much special about this. Kennedy Brooks as well, going off in front of his home crowd in San Antonio. It was just a special game, and it was a game that from the word go, OU dominated.
Yeah,
and
Oregon was shorthanded, but
yeah,
they did exactly what they should have done.
They did exactly what they should have done, exactly what you expect OU to do in a big spot. And it reminded you of why OU had the promise they did at the beginning of this season and what kind of promise they have. Now we question whether Caleb Williams is going to stay.
That is the promise of next season. I mean, I don't doubt that Brent Venables is going to instill some toughness that, maybe was lacking a little bit as Lincoln Riley, entered his 5th season as head coach. But the difference between this team being, the Big 12 favorite and somewhere further down the pecking order is Caleb Williams in tow. Now, obviously, they can hit the portal and, find a quarterback who will be good, but this guy is special. Yeah, as a Notre Dame fan, for instance, the last thing in the world I want to see is him going to USC because he's the kind of guy who could flip that sorry program and make them just an absolute nightmare for everybody in the Pac-12 to deal with anybody on USC's schedule. There we see Bob Stoops, and it was special. Dave Sittler, former columnist for the Tulsa World, I believe called it Bob's finest hour, or maybe the most important thing he's done for the OU program. What he's done in the last month, stepping up the way he did, getting on the recruiting trail, stabilizing things, and sticking his chest out and saying, look, that guy who left for the West Coast, he's not OU football. Our hopes and dreams for what this program can be in the immediate future didn't just go out the window because that guy left.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're going to find the right guy, and they find Brent Venables, and
this
there's
was
a lot to like.
Too. Yeah.
There's a lot to like going forward.
You see how much Bob likes him.
Yeah.
I mean,
gosh, yeah. The passing of the visor was a beautiful thing. Look, it was cathartic, right, in a lot of ways, and it was. We didn't get to send Bob off. He just up and left in June of 2017. This was the fitting send-off that he deserved. So, yeah, it was John Haverfield's a Sooner. Cathartic night for you? Yeah, we're getting the thumbs up from John. So, good stuff, so long as Caleb Williams is coming back. Who knows? I mean, I'm assuming he's, looking into maybe who will be the highest bidder in terms of NIL things. I have no idea what OU's positioned to do. This is uncharted waters.
Yeah.
In college football.
He's got family
I'm
back east.
uncomfortable with it, in part, not that kids don't deserve it, but just it feels like there's a lot of room for the most extreme sort of shadiness, and who's going to be able to step up to the table and play this game and who's not, I don't know. Is OU one of those schools that can with their compliance department, which is pretty stout? I don't know. Sure seems like Lincoln Riley's going whole hog on this thing, which concerns you some. So, yeah, that's one thing that's really interesting to me about college football. We have always done the guessing game going into next season. The top teams are going to be where they are. But it's still a guessing game. You don't know who's coming behind guys who are leaving, and there's a lot of turnover every year because kids can only stay 4 years. But it has never been more difficult to project who will be where than right now, where the portal can completely change your fortunes.
Absolutely.
Like that. Look at what Michigan State did this year. Or defections can completely change what Tulsa lost this week with Jackson Player, who we thought was going to the NFL, but then he announces he'll be back for a 5th year, and people assume that would be at 11th and Harvard. The very next day, no, he's going into the transfer portal and probably going to land at a bigger school. It's heartbreaking for schools at that level that you can recruit a diamond in the rough, develop him to the point where he's an NFL guy, and then he can just bounce when and where he wants. And then for schools at Oklahoma's level, you're going to have kids who have a lot of money being dangled, in front of them, and everybody's a free agent. And so, gosh, we'll get into this in next week's rant and the week after.
There's always a lot to talk about.
But
I always say,
never has the college football offseason been more tumultuous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially this time of year than right now.
I mean, I've always used to look at where the family is, where the girlfriend is. I think I'd seen an article written. There's not a lot known about Caleb Williams and his possible girlfriend at UNC or whatever. But you look back east, he's got family back east.
Yeah.
So I always used to look at that. And now does that go out the window because there's more money somewhere else? It's like
how many bidders are there for a guy like Caleb Williams, who's about the most talented quarterback in the country?
I mean, you have a guy like Bob Stoops telling him he could be one of the greats. You have the opponent's head coach, Oregon's head coach, saying he's the best playmaker in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a case to be made.
There is absolutely a case to be made. He is the best player in the NCAA. He had Kirk Herbstreit. He had Kirk Herbstreit asking if he could be a Heisman contender when he took over in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you talk about the best playmaker in college football. I mean, there are going to be callers, and that's a lot for a kid who was a freshman, now going on vacation with his parents to think about. That is a lot for them to consider.
All right, congrats, Cowboys, Sooners, and Golden Hurricane. The state of Oklahoma goes 3 for 3 in the college football bowl season, and OSU pulls off what Mike Gundy calls the biggest win in program history. Man, I am glad to be off the plane. Let's
made it home.
Let's enjoy the rest of this game, and Happy New Year to everybody.